bright and beautiful good morning to you. My name is Victoria Kalita and I come from Thunder Bay, but most people around here know me as Mermaid Viktoria. So I've officially been mermaiding with a tail for the last decade. Within that time, I've also been a regular human swim instructor with Learn to Swim. I've gotten my annual certifications, and this past summer I actually traveled to Hamilton to get my PADI Mermaid Basic all the way through Advanced, which was a lot of fun. For me, mermaiding is not just a gig, it is essentially my way of life. I was always the kid that walked around and was talking about the shark finning industry and how it was destroying the shark populations, along with the importance that sharks have in our ecosystems. I was the kid who was walking around talking and trying to explain to people how dolphins used echolocation. I've always been fascinated with the underwater world, and though I am a freshwater-based mermaid, born and bred Lake Superior, woo! I find that a lot of water conservation issues are usually centered around the tropical locations. So I like to explore and get as much information about that as possible, and then also translate that back to how similar things affect our ecosystems locally, and how, like, one of my favorites is talking about how sunscreen with the chemicals in it does contribute to reef, to destroying essentially the coral reefs. But if that's what it does to the coral reefs, what effect does it have on our lakes? What effect does it have in our backyard where I swim, where we swim? Getting people to kind of make that connection as well. So it's like, if we use reef safe sunscreen when we go someplace tropical, we should logically be also using that same type of sunscreen with our local waters. The other passion that I have that has sprung from mermaiding, I've always been a water baby. I've always been in the water, whether it was a pool, swimming at camp, family trips where we would go to the ocean. That's just where I was. I am a very strong swimmer, but I recognize that that is a privilege and that not everybody has that privilege. So part of my mermaiding journey, or a large part of it, has actually been centered around water safety and educating humans on basic swimming before they go into mermaiding, but also making sure that they have the tools and the knowledge to keep themselves safe in any situation that would come around water that I can at least try and educate about. It's definitely a different take, but I think it stems from, for us, water is life. Especially in Thunder Bay, you know somebody who has a pool, you have a camp, someone else has a camp, or you're going to a pool party. It is a large way that we keep ourselves entertained here. So to not have those skills does scare me to a certain extent. So I am excited to share this with you. I look forward to showing you some of the amateur videos of the skills that I have, and we'll see where things go.
La 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 la, la la. Oh, oh, oh. La 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 la, la la. If every day is just a dream, then who would I wanna be? Today I think I'll be the queen, flying through a time machine. Oh, my, discover what's deep inside. Oh, my, loving everything I find. La 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 la, la la. Oh, oh, oh. La 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 la, la la. If I woke up in a sky of blue, wondered what I ought to do. Every second there's something so brand new. So happy I'm breaking through. Oh, my, discover what's deep inside. Oh, my, so wonderful being me. La 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 la, la la. Oh, oh, oh. La 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 la, la la. Oh, my.
So while I am decently confident in the swim skills that I do have as far as mermaiding goes, one hiccup where I seem to have is where you've asked for footage of me interacting with not students but children in my mersona. In Thunder Bay, there are not a lot of opportunities, and I make the best of what I can, and it's usually me being caught off guard while I'm swimming at a pool, while I'm in a waterfall or splashing around at the lake, and I have organic interactions with children. Very few photos, and they're photos that I often don't get copies of. It's usually just for the family, and there's definitely no actual footage of me interacting, sadly. However, in the written portion of this, or the transcribed version, I guess I should call it, I do have, I would call it a reference list to a few of my employers who have put me in aquatic environments with kids and have watched me teach or interact with them. So I'm hoping that that can at least try and offset or give you a little bit of an idea of my personality with kids. I've attached a few photos, and I also have some reviews of from parents and previous students of mine who have gone through my mermaiding program. So I noticed in the application it says that if we don't have any video footage of us interacting with the public in character, that we have the opportunity to read a story. So in favor of the holidays, I would like to share the oral tradition of this little guy. He is called a Christmas spider, and his story goes like this. Once upon a time, many, many winters ago, there lived a family on the edge of the Black Forest. Now, this winter was the harshest one that they were facing. In spirit of the holidays, though, they went into the woods, found a tree. Mother, in the meantime, was sweeping up the house, cleaning it for the holidays, and the little spiders that lived in the house fled up to the attic to avoid the wrath of her corn broom. They stayed there all day. They heard the doors open, they heard something come inside, and the kids were excited. They waited there until the sun went down. Once the family had gone quiet and they knew that they were asleep, the spiders came down from the attic and explored their home. What they saw was a beautiful tree standing close to the fire, just enough that they could see it with the glow of the dying embers. Excited, they scuttled up the tree and onto the branches to take a new look around. It smelt so good. They were so excited that they ran and they jumped from branch to branch, all the while spinning their fine silk webs. Now, as the embers began to die, they felt another presence in the room. Gently, it called out to them. Little spiders, you've had your fun, but look at the mess your webs have spun. Timidly, they came down the trunk of the tree and out onto the floor to look at the tree, covered in now their gray silk spider webs. They looked at the figure in the room with them and said, "We didn't mean to make this mess. Can you help us?" And with a gentle smile, the gentleman said, "You've had your fun. Let's make it right with a little bit of old world magic on this long winter's night." And with a twinkle in his eye and a scrunch of his nose, the fine silk webs fell into beautiful long strands of tinsel. The little spiders turned to thank the old gentleman, but by then, all that was left was a bit of sparkle. Knowing dawn was approaching, the spiders went back up to the attic, excited to hear the excitement from the family below when they woke up. The sun crept over the ridge of the trees, shining in through the windows. They heard the little pitter-patter of the kids below, and then the gasps of awe when they saw how beautiful their tree looked, decorated in silver. This is how we also get the legend of how tinsel started. But also, if you look closely in your Christmas tree, you might be able to see a little spider staring back at ye. Hopefully that gives me at least a partial fin in the door. But thank you for your time. I truly appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.